Dear friend, are you struggling to treat of your panic attacks or general anxiety? Are you frustrated, in pain, or feeling constant worry and stress for not being able to properly deal with your anxiety despite all your efforts? Are you tired of the way your panic attacks and anxiety make you feel? Are you avoiding situations, or things that you wish to do or participate in because of your fear and anxiety? Do you feel that life is passing you by? Do you fear leaving the house, making holiday plans or business travel? Do you fear situations where you are asked to speak in front of people, or getting stuck in traffic? Do you feel like a prisoner to your panic attacks and anxiety that you have forgotten what it was like to be normal? If you answered yes to any of the above, then let me tell you that I know exactly how you feel, because I personally had gone through the same experience years ago. I have battled with my panic attacks and social anxiety for more than a decade until I have finally found a treatment, and I am now a free and confident individual living life to the fullest. You're about to discover what might be the most powerful panic treatment system ever developed. It's the same system thousands of people, just like you, use to permanently treat their panic attacks and achieve freedom from general anxiety. Treat panic attacks and general anxiety permanently. It's a fact 95% of the people who use conventional treatments are able to control their panic attacks temporarily, and sometimes they end up worse than when they started. Now you can learn how to be in the successful 5% group that keeps it off forever. Note that conventional treatments such as medications, psychiatric treatments and even lifestyle changes and breathing techniques, mostly calm the body and address the symptoms of anxiety and thus working short-term. Don't believe those websites that offer a fast remedy to panic attacks or anxiety. No magic pill or fix-it-all product exists. The solution I now offer is an intelligent, scientific approach that gets panic attacks under control and eliminates general anxiety within few short weeks depending on the severity. My program also teaches you how to prevent panic attacks recurrence. Treat panic attacks and general anxiety holistically. It's a fact treating panic attacks can never be achieved by tackling one of the many factors responsible for generating the addictive and destructive panic and anxiety attack cycle. If you've ever tried to treat anxiety using a one-dimensional treatment like drugs, or breathing techniques and failed, it's probably because you have tackled only one aspect of the condition and in the wrong direction. Not only will this system teach you the only way to prevent the formation of panic attacks, you will also learn the only way to treat panic attacks and anxiety for good, the holistic way. Treat panic attacks and general anxiety without drugs or typical anxiety treatments. Drugs to treat anxiety sometimes work in a partial way and temporarily, but the side effects are nasty. The tiny handful panic attacks sufferers who have learned how to treat their anxieties from within and without ever using drugs or over-the-counters are the only people in the world who keep their mental and emotional system free of panic attacks, anxiety and phobias permanently. Now you can learn these panic treatment secrets from a nutritionist and a former sufferer who knows from real-world experience exactly how it's done. Panic Miracle promotes a healthy mental environment while eliminating the destructive anxiety cycle and the fear of having another panic attack and preventing their recurrence naturally and safely within 8 weeks. What the Panic Miracle is not. The Panic Miracle program is not another drug, psychological therapy or a set of breathing techniques. It is not the usual diet and herbal supplementation program or another over-the-counter medication that most people pass around. It is not a medical procedure either. This unique holistic approach and order of protocols to eliminate all types of panic attacks, phobias and anxiety and control their recurrences for the most part unlike anything you'll find elsewhere. Everything covered in the program is safe and natural. Moreover, instead of learning how to deal with a panic attack once it happens, you will learn how to free yourself from any future panic attacks and anxiety permanently. My program is not something that tries to fix the problem by swallowing pills to calm the fear. With my approach, you will be able to experience complete freedom from panic attacks while preventing their recurrence usually in less than 8 weeks. Please listen to my story. It all began with a sweep of nausea at the mall in my late teens. The panic descended on me so quickly, and for no reason at all, that I didn't even know what it was for the first few months. The first time I experienced an episode one was with a group of friends shopping for new school clothes. We were entering our senior year of high school and were out finding just the right look. I was having a great time, when suddenly I felt very woozy. My heart started pounding, I became very hot, as if I spiked a fever, sweat dripped from my brow, my skin became clammy, my face drained of color, I couldn't breathe and I felt sick to my stomach. My friends knew right away that something was wrong and got me home quickly. Certain that I just had picked up a virus or maybe even some food poisoning, I headed for bed the rest of the day. By morning I was fine. I felt normal, so I went off to my part-time job and forgot about it. But I wasn't fine. This dreaded disease called anxiety had infiltrated my life and things were about to get worse, much worse. My mind had now associated the mall and hanging out with my friends with panic. So, of course the next time I was in the same situation it happened again, and again. As is usually the case with panic sufferers, I began to avoid any situation that I thought would bring on an attack, the mall, the movies, busy places, my friends, and eventually even school. By Christmas time I was unable to leave my home without severe panic symptoms ensuing. I was sick and getting sicker. My parents didn't know what was going on and dragged me from doctor to doctor looking for answers. In the meantime I bounced between fits of depression and obvious episodes of panic. I was convinced that I was dying of some horrible disease, which just deepened my sense of anxiety. Nothing could calm my fears, not negative test results and certainly not the assurances of dozens of doctors. Without any hope for a diagnosis, let alone a treatment, I continued with my life as best I could, avoiding any situation that might induce an attack, making changes to my plans at moment's notice. The years that followed were wrought with feelings that I was losing my mind and that because of this panic that I would never have a real life. My family doctor ran thousands of dollars worth of tests, only to refer me to a psychiatrist, who sent me for more tests to rule out any physical condition. What they finally concluded was, it was all in my head. Then came a multitude of medications which always managed to make me feel worse. I tried antidepressants and anti-anxiety meds to no avail. Nothing worked. Not even psychotherapy or group counseling could treat me. Anxiety had a grip on me and it wasn't letting up. I began having 10 to 20 monstrous and paralyzing panic attacks a day. I was crying, curled up like a baby in need of salvation. My life became a living hell with constant fear along with depersonalization, headaches, sweating, dizziness, and palpitations. I was terrified from having to experience the next panic attacks that I thought I was going mad. I was positive that the next panic attack would surely kill me, physically, not only emotionally. I really wanted help and I have went crying for help to numerous psychiatrists and doctors and took antidepressants and myriad of sedatives to calm my fears, but the side effects were horrible and my anxiety and fears were worse than ever. After years of therapies and drugs I still experienced severe and relentless panic attacks. The most significant one was 15 years ago and I still remember that night clearly. That panic attack was so intense it almost drove me to the edge of insanity. I had to do something and fast. Something had to be done and it had to be done quickly or I was going to lose my mind. It was time to take action. Deep down, I felt there must have been another option, a healthier alternative. It was then that I had started the long, frustrating road of trial and error until I have finally pieced a complete and comprehensive holistic system used by thousands of men and women to permanently cure the real cause of panic attacks and anxiety. Now, after 14 years of desperate research and experiments I have found the missing piece I was searching for. One evening, I discovered a very important piece of information while talking with an alternative medicine expert and a holistic doctor about a book that had nothing to do with panic attacks, anxiety or fear. The piece of information stood out as the missing piece I was desperately searching for. I took that piece of information and, together with the other 14 years' worth of information that I had collected, compiled a plan to eliminate panic attacks, anxiety and phobias. I followed that plan for 5 weeks and my panic attacks were gone and had never returned, and I was also finally free from all anxiety symptoms. After learning, improving and applying this new set of strategies and techniques along with several tricks I have compiled over the years either from books or self-experiments, all my panic attacks and anxiety were gone. Permanently gone. And life couldn't get any better. I was so relieved. A simple holistic strategy had opened the door to my new and much more colorful fear-free life. My plan had worked. I was finally from all anxiety and panic-related symptoms. As such, 14 years after beginning my mission, I got married and had become the proud parent of 2 beautiful, healthy children.